If you're looking for the cheapest and most reliable Madden 22 coins on the market, check out my sponsor, MMOEXPR.com. Links are in the description, and use code JEDI at checkout for 5% off. Alrighty, hey there guys, Adorcast here, aka JetterBro95, coming at you guys with another video. So in this video, guys, I'm going to be going over one player for every theme team that EA did not upgrade this year. Now, there's a bit of a criteria for this. First off is you have to be your card had to have been a 96 overall powered up or lower. So it had to be a 95 that powered up to a 96, or it had to have been, you know, powered up to like a 95. You get the point. Also, this would have been a card that could have made an impact on the team based on, you know, the team needs, or the team, could have used this or something like that. For some of them, also some of these cards in question just did not get an upgrade all year and absolutely should have gotten something at some point. It didn't matter to me if it was like a low 90s to a mid 90s. They should have gotten an upgrade. Other ones were cards that desperately could have filled holes on their specific lineups, and that could have gotten an upgrade for them. So if there's anything I did miss, like if there's one card for your favorite theme team that you wanted to add or you think that should have been on here, let me know in the comment section below. An honorable mention is going to be thrown out for Jimmy Graham, though. I completely, when I was researching this and looking through all the theme teams, completely forgot to say Jimmy Graham and put him in the game. I put him in there, but just know Jimmy Graham was a card that absolutely should have gotten another upgrade this year while he was still under contract with the Bears at some point. Don't understand why he was never given one. But I don't make content for the game. I make content on the game and talk about it. So, but with that being said, guys, let's start off with, we're going to go in this specific order, like how it has laid out here. So Niners, Bears, yada, yada, yada. So for the San Francisco 49ers, I went and chose Nick Bosa. Now, Nick Bosa was a card that got an LTD at the very early stages of the year. I think in like late November, I think is when this card came out. Let me just check here real quick. It was not late November. It was like late October, if I remember correctly, is when this card actually did drop. If my computer will cooperate with me. It's like really, really slow right now in the loading and whatnot. Let me just scooch this over a tiny bit. It's just really loading really, really slowly. I don't understand why. But you get the point, guys. Like, he definitely needed another card. One of the best players probably the best player on the Niners. There we go. Finally flips over. So it came out, I remember, on November 11th of last year, as you see right there real quick. For some reason, it says Packers Chem, which, okay. But you get the point. Like, he did not get another card after this LTD, and I think that's a real shame because he definitely did need a card. He absolutely did deserve one. And I don't know why he didn't get one. Moving on to the next card, we have Eddie Jackson for the Chicago Bears. Now, Eddie Jackson definitely could have helped solidify the safety positions for the Bears, as the Bears safeties are not the greatest. You know, you have Tashawn Gibson, but other than that, like, well, I mean, I would argue is not that great. But his last card was a 92 overall Harvest Master for the Thanksgiving Day, for Thanksgiving Day stats and whatnot. He definitely was a solid card when he came out. I actually did like the Eddie Jackson when he did drop, even just looking at his base stats. But EA just forgot about him throughout the rest of the year, and it's a bit of a shame. For the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm going with TJ Houstman Zada. This is one of the many Team Diamond ones that did not receive another upgrade for the entire year. There was like at least 3 or 4 Team Diamonds that did not get another card. But TJ Houstman Zada, 89 speed, definitely could have been a really, really good card. He was really good when he first came out. Everybody loved this TJ Houstman Zada because of the fact that he got Slot Apprentice for 1 AP. He was like one of the first receivers to actually get Slot Apprentice for 1 AP, especially when EA made the changes for Slot Apprentice on route runners, which I still think is a terrible idea, but whatever, we're not talking about that. But, TJ definitely did need another upgrade. He should have gotten another upgrade at some point in the year. It really doesn't make sense to me. Moving on for the Bills, we have Tremaine Edmonds. He did not receive another card after the Harvest promo because, again, he, much like Eddie Jackson, was one of the 92 overalls. But he never did get another card for some reason. I feel like this card would have absolutely helped solidify the linebacker core of the Bills. I know not a lot of people do use linebackers. But for those people that do use them, I mean, this card could have absolutely helped solidify the core for that defense. Definitely somebody that needed another card. One of the better linebackers in the league that nobody really talks about, in my opinion. Next for the Broncos, we actually have Shamar Stefan. Now, I actually would make this their left tackle for the Broncos team. I genuinely cannot remember him at this time, but I chose Shamar Stefan because he was a team builder. He was the very first team builder for the Broncos and never got another card after this. Like for the entire, like literally the entirety of Madden 22's life cycle, never got an upgrade. And I think that's a bit of a joke in my opinion. It didn't matter to me that if it was a small card or if it was a big card, he should have gotten at least something at some point in the year. I think it's really sad that EA just doesn't upgrade certain players for whatever reason. I don't understand it. To me personally, I think they should find a way to make sure that every single card gets an upgrade at some point in the year. But alas, it is what it is. Moving on to the Cleveland Browns, I am picking Miles Austin. Definitely was one of the better receivers in the game when he did come out. When he was 6'2", he's 6'2", 215 pounds. Just shuffle over real quick. Hang on 1 second here. I got to move this. As you see right there, 6'2", 215. You know, but he definitely should have gotten another card at some point in the year. He got a Team of the Week, which everybody did love the Team of the Week card. You know, but after that, he just got nothing, and I think it's a bit of a shame. You know, especially considering the fact that he was really, really good, and he's definitely a very sought-after card. Moving on to the Buccaneers, I am going to pick Lavonte David. Lavonte David absolutely should have gotten another card this year. You got a veterans card way in the very early stages of the year. I think it was like one of the first 3 veteran releases. And then after that, he just got nothing. He did not get another card after that veterans release, which doesn't make sense to me. It is a bit of a weird thing that EA did. Again, I don't understand why they just can't give card upgrades to everybody or find a way to give at least 2, especially big names like Lavonte David's one of the best linebackers in the NFL, and he never got another card. I don't get it. For the Arizona Cardinals, I am going to choose AJ Green. Now, this one I wanted to pick for the Bengals, but TJ Houstman Zada definitely was another card that needed another upgrade for the Bengals because he was their team diamond. But AJ Green absolutely should have gotten another card this year. You know, he's the prototypical receiver that you wanted for this year. He's 6'4". He was definitely not the best archetype because he was a physical. I apologize. I had to take a sip of water. But overall, AJ Green was a very good card when he came out. You know, 95, 96 speed with all the chem boost and shit with AJ Green. Definitely did need to be getting another card. I don't understand why he did not. The Bengals definitely did need a bit of a jump ball receiver. I mean, Jamar Chase is good, but he's not the biggest, whereas AJ Green definitely could have been that jump ball receiver for the Bengals. Moving on to the Chargers, I am going to go with Nasir. Come on, there we go. Sorry, my computer is running a bit slow. Nasir Adderley, he was also the very first, one of the very first team diamonds. He was actually in the first team diamond, team builders for the Chargers. And they never gave him another upgrade. And I vividly remember at the beginning of the year, everybody wanted this card. It was so good. 90 speed at launch was incredible value. It was like him and Jamar Chase were like the 2 best players in the game in terms of skill positions. But Nasir Adderley definitely did not get another card for the rest of the year, which, you know, I don't understand. Again, whatever. But Nasir Adderley could have absolutely helped solidify the safeties positions for the Chargers, but unfortunately it was not to be. Next, for the Chiefs, we're going with Kyle Long. I picked Kyle Long because of the fact that this is their best right guard. Literally, the best right guard for the Kansas City Chiefs team is Kyle Long. Like, I'm not talking about, like, secondary position players. I'm not talking, like, say, for example, you know, you move a lineman to fill that, you know, the left right guard spot. No, this was literally the best right guard they had. So, yeah. And again, he was also part of the first team builders. Starting to notice a pattern here. But you get the point. Like, Kyle Long definitely did not get another upgrade. He absolutely should have. Moving on to the Colts, we do have the right outside linebacker, Ted Hendricks. Now, I know you're thinking he actually does have another card. Yes and no, because the thing is with that Ted Hendricks, it's a safety card, okay? That golden ticket and the zero chill oop card is a safety. His actual position was an outside linebacker. And for some reason, he never got another card this year. You know, definitely a really great card. 6'7". He had 91 power move. So really great pass rushing stats at the time. Great speed. He had 89 speed for a linebacker, which wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best either. But overall, I can't help but feel like he absolutely should have gotten another card. Moving on to the Cowboys, this one was an obvious one. This is Roy Wilson. Much like Kyle Long, this is the best player they have at the free safety position. And I'm not talking about moving, like, say you move like Cam Chancellor or Jerome Kearse to free safety. This is their best free safety for the team. Like, in terms of the ratings. Like, again, 90 speed, definitely could have gotten that speed up to like 96, 97. Definitely could have gotten the zone coverage to 99, absolutely. The pursuit block shed definitely should have been there. Don't know what happened with Roy Williams. I think it's a little bit weird that he never got another card. Moving on to the next card, we have Jason McCourty for the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins definitely did need another cornerback. They had some good corners, but Jason McCourty absolutely could have been a fine addition at the slot cornerback, even though he is 5'11". Again, another card that was really good when he came out. He had great coverage stats, 93 man, 89 zone. But obviously, if you put a boost on that, you can get well over 90 zone and like 96 speed for Dolphins, Browns, Patriots, or Titans theme team. All great stats overall. I think he absolutely should have gotten another card. Moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles, and this one for me was kind of obvious. It's Lane Johnson. One of the better linemen in the game today. I loved this card when he came out. My offensive line was so bad when he dropped that I actually ended up picking him up and using him for a little while because that's how bad the Seahawks offensive line was. But Lane Johnson absolutely should have gotten another card. I know I've been saying that over and over, but Lane Johnson, definitely somebody who should have got one. Next, for the Atlanta Falcons, I'm actually going to go with Keanu Neal because of the fact, and I know it says Dallas Cowboys for the team on here, and he does play for the Cowboys, but for the sake of this, I'm going to say that the Falcons get Keanu Neal because the Falcons needed another safety. They definitely did need to get another safety for their lineup. Like, this is their best safety other than Cam, which honestly I don't really care for. Moving on to Washington, I'm going to pick DJ Swearinger. Now DJ Swearinger was a Saint, and he actually is a Saint this year, if I'm not mistaken. I take that back. He actually was not a Saint. He actually did not play the last 2 years. They just threw this card in as a veteran this year for some reason. But this is his only card he had. Realistically, I think that's kind of insulting. Just same as Jimmy Graham. They never gave him another card, which don't get, but whatever. Moving on to the next card, moving on to the next team. I'm trying to move on here because, again, the computer is running very, very slow. For the Giants, we have James Bradbury. Now, I don't get why James Bradbury did not receive a new card. I don't understand it. One of the better corners in the entire league, and yet this was his best card he had all year. And he actually was pretty solid. He was 6'1". He had great speed. He had solid coverage stats when he came out. I know a lot of people wanted that Bradbury speed changed when they announced him for the stocking stuffers. They did change it, which I think was definitely needed. But I do like this James Bradbury. I just wish that he got a better card at some point in the year. Moving on to the next team. I believe this is the Jaguars. Yes, this is the Jaguars. We're going to go with Tyson Alualu. Only reason I'm picking Tyson Alualu for the Jaguars is just because the Jaguars really needed some front four stuff, right? Especially considering that Tyson Alualu is a run-stopping DT. Definitely feel like they could have gotten a great run-stopping DT with Tyson Alualu, but for some reason they gave him another card after the veterans. Moving on to the Jets, we have Mekhi Becton. Now, he actually had a solid year, and they never gave him another card, which I think is a little bit weird. And when you look at the stats here, nice blocking all the way around, 93 run block, 95 impact block. Definitely somebody who could have gotten another card. For the next card in question, I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown. God, I hope I said that right. Now, I know this is probably looking very good for the stats-wise, but the issue with this card was the after the catch stuff. He had a little bit of work to do with the after the catch stuff. Now, he does have some good speed and good acceleration, But I definitely feel like he could have absolutely been a card that the Lions needed, because the Lions receivers outside of Calvin Johnson were not the best, especially considering that they had things like Golden Tate and, I think Keyshawn Johnson was another one, if I remember correctly. I cannot remember. But, yeah. Amon-Ra St. Brown, again, I'm hoping that fudge I say that right, definitely needed another card this year at some point. Moving on to the Packers, this one was obvious. Jair Alexander never got another card after Most Feared, which was absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. I understand he is a very small corner, but he's one of the best corners in the league, and again, much like James Bradbury, for some reason never got another card after this, which I just don't understand. Especially when you consider other Most Feared cards like Aaron Donald, DK Metcalf, Kyle Juszczyk even, all got cards after the Most Feared, but Jair did not, which is weird to me. Moving on to the next team, we have David Moore for the Panthers. Now, the Panthers, the reason I picked David Moore is because this is the only card he had. He never got another upgrade after this, but with the Panthers, they needed more wide receivers. They absolutely had the worst receiving core in the game this year. I don't even think it was close. David Moore could have absolutely been a go-to receiver on the Panthers team, which is ironic because he isn't that in real life. But anyhow, I digress. But David Moore absolutely could have been somebody for them. He was he was also a really great receiver when he came out. But again, time progressed and he never got another upgrade, which I think is which is a little bit sad. Now, next for the Patriots, we have Willie Mcginnis. Definitely should have gotten another upgrade. I feel like Patriots fans wanted another Willie Mcginnis card at some point in the year. Maybe even a Richard Seymour. We could have thrown Richard Seymour on this list and it would have been probably the same. But definitely somebody that I think needed another card. He had great finesse move, great speed when he first came out too, especially on a Browns and Patriots team. But overall, I do think he should have gotten somebody. He should have gotten a card. For the next team, we have, come on, you computer, Reggie Nelson for the Raiders. Now, the Raiders had some solid DBs, but I wanted to pick Reggie Nelson just because of the fact that he did need another card. And also a lot of other players in the game got Ultimate Legend cards, and for some reason he never did. So I don't know. Maybe it is what it is with that. Moving on to the next player for the for the next team, for the Rams, we have Jordan Fuller. Now, Jordan Fuller definitely should have gotten another card. He's 6'2", 203 pounds. So that definitely would have been a huge asset for the team, for the Rams team secondary. I remember picking up this card when I first got him, and I loved this card. He played very, very well when he first came out. Even without the Rams cam, he played great. But again, never got another card, and I think it's a little bit sad because I think a lot of Rams fans definitely did want a Jordan Fuller. For the next team, for the Ravens, we got Ronnie Stanley. I definitely think Ronnie Stanley should have gotten another card. He was he was the last team builder for the Ravens because they only did up to 93 overall for some reason, which I don't get. They should have kept going to like 95, maybe even 97s for team builders. But for whatever reason, they never did. And I feel like Ronnie Stanley absolutely should have gotten one more. Moving on to the next team after the Ravens, we have come on, computer, Ryan Ramczyk for the Saints. This is the most obvious one for the Saints. He never got an upgrade this year at all, which is baffling to me that he never received one fucking card. Like, literally, this is the only one he has. And I think that's just pathetic. Much like TJ Houstman Zada and another player you'll see here in a minute, I think that is a bit sad. So, moving on to the next team, I think it's the Seahawks is next. Hold on just a second here. Click over. There we are. Okay, I didn't actually click on the thing for some reason. Well, for the Seahawks, I'm going to pick Brian Bosworth. Now, Brian Bosworth, much like the Broncos left tackle that, again, I cannot remember at this time, and I apologize. And like TJ Houstman Zada, was the first team builder for his respective team, and never got a new card after this. Never got a small promo item, never got a big promo item, nothing of that sort, and I think that's just sad. Again, I know with like I said with Tremaine Edmonds, not really many people use linebackers, but you know what? If this Bosworth was really, really good, like he had 95, 96 speed with his next upgrade, I absolutely would have used this Brian Bosworth because he is 6'2", which is something that a lot of people did not really take into account with this Brian Bosworth, and I know that because I would pick people off like crazy with him, and it was hilarious to me. So, but Bosworth absolutely should have gotten one more card. Next up for the team, we have this thing I'll take on for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. Now, the reason I picked Antonio Brown, not because the Steelers don't need another receiver, because they have like Lynn Swan, Plax, and I can't remember the third receiver at this time. But the reason I went with AB is because of the fact that, you know, he's a route runner. I think Lynn Swan is also a route runner, and then I think their last one is not a route running receiver. So you could have gotten 3 route techs on the field for 2 AP or a slot-o-matic for 2 AP as well. But you know, the last one that he got was a harvest card. He was one of the harvest masters, but after this, he just never got anything, which I just don't understand. Anyhow, moving on, we got 3 more to go here for the Titans, I believe, or is this the Texans. This is Houston Texans. For the Houston Texans, I'm gonna go with Marcus Cannon. The Texans really did not have a good theme team this year, and their offensive line was also not that good either, so I think Marcus Cannon should have absolutely gotten at least one more card. He came out in the Combine promo, as you can see here, but I still feel like he should have gotten at least one more. And then for the Titans, moving on real quick, we're trying to wrap this up as fast as possible. For the Tennessee Titans, we have Kari Blasingame. Now, the reason I put out Kari Blasingame for the Titans is because this is really the only thing they needed. I understand they had Bernard Pollard, but he's an out-of-position card. He's not an actual player like that played fullback for them. This is the best actual fullback they have that isn't an OOP card. But Kari Blasingame, he's not a bad card by any means. He has some solid stats to him. 93 speed, but he could have absolutely gotten that to like 96, 97 speed with Theme Team Chem Boost maybe. But Kari definitely is a player that I think should have gotten a card at some point. One more card, because I think his last one was the Blitz promo. We just scrolled down. Yes, it was. It was the Blitz promo. And then lastly, for the Minnesota Vikings, I'm going to go with, come on. Sorry, guys. Eric Kendricks. Now, Eric Kendricks, again, much like with Bosworth and with Tremaine Edmonds, this is another card that I feel like the Vikings definitely could have used for linebacker play. But also, Eric Kendricks is one of the better linebackers in the league. Did not get another card after a flashback from way back at God fucking knows when. But I absolutely would have loved to have seen a Eric Kendricks card again at some point this year. But that is going to do it, guys. This is one player from every theme team that did not get another upgrade that I feel like could have absolutely needed it. Did you agree with anything I said? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Also, hit the like video if you got on the video, guys, if you did enjoy it. It does help me out with the channel. It does help me out in the algorithm. And also, while you're at it, guys, hit the subscribe button too. It's free. You can unsub at any time. But with that, I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.